Hello and welcome to Red Rock Ridge ALC 19 News. I am your host, Stephen Kuntz. Today's video is on the U.S. presidency. Not as in-depth as I would like to go, but we covered the executive branch in class. So I'm going to talk about some different presidents today and a possible new candidate that I heard about. And I'm hoping you'll actually watch the whole thing, all right? So I have a few questions throughout the video. You might want to pause it right now. I'm waiting for you to hit pause. All right. So if you answer these questions, all right, and you email the answers back to me, I will buy you a soda when and if we ever get back to school. All right. So there's a little extrinsic motivation for you. Nothing like a bribe of caffeine and sugar. And just so you know, I'm on my second pot of coffee right now. So anyway, let's get started. I got to start with a joke, of course. How do you know a politician is lying? His lips are moving. All right, I don't think that's necessarily true all the time, but yes, certainly sometimes it is. Do you know what the majority of presidents did for a living before they were an elected official? Most politicians are like this anyway, but most of them have been lawyers. Okay, so how about a couple lawyer jokes? What do you call a lawyer with an IQ of 100? Your Honor. What do you call a lawyer with an IQ of 50? A representative or a senator? What's the difference between an accountant and a lawyer? Accountants know they're boring. Little shout out here to my nephew Josh. If Red Rock Ridge students think I'm boring, listen to my nephew talk about finances. All right, anyway, sorry, man. I better give a shout out to my mom. I love you. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. And I will talk to you soon. So I'll give you some facts on the presidents. About half of our presidents have military experience. That makes sense. They are the commander-in-chief of our military. The majority of our presidents have been white, affluent males. We still have never had a female president. There's only been one president who's been African-American, Barack Obama. There's only been one president who was Catholic. All right, that was John F. Kennedy. And you know that there were people back in 1960 that actually did not vote for Kennedy because they thought that the U.S. then would be controlled by the Pope in Rome. Interesting enough. Four presidents have been assassinated: Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, and Kennedy. All right, so that's my little segue here to go over some of my favorite presidents on your sheet. Lincoln, of course, is up there. He was the president during the Civil War. Probably one of the toughest times in our country's history. Governing during that time must have been very difficult. He had the Gettysburg Address 77 years ago. Our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. That's all I know, so I'll stop there. Of course, the Emancipation Proclamation out there that only freed the slaves in the states that were in rebellion, but the 13th Amendment, which officially abolished slavery, was passed shortly after by Congress. I got to put George Washington up there. He's number one. First president, set a lot of precedents for other presidents. You guys know I talk about Teddy Roosevelt a lot. He is certainly up there. Come on, he was a cowboy, the Rough Rider. Wrestled with sumo wrestlers in the White House. Pretty cool stuff. And, he signed the Meat Inspection Act. I like my burgers, all right? Talked a lot about him during the progressive, when we talked about the progressive movement in class. I got to put FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, up there. He governed us in another tough time in our nation's history during the Great Depression and then later on during World War II. I got to have Reagan up there, the Gipper. Did you know that he was actually an actor before he became president? So, little fun fact for you. Okay, so our last four presidents, just to give you an idea. Clinton, William Jefferson Clinton, Slick Willie, lawyer, and later the governor of Arkansas before he was elected to become president. George W. Bush, W. All right, he was a businessman and he was the governor of Texas before he was elected president. We had President Barack Obama. He was a lawyer and then later on a representative of Illinois in Congress. And then we have Donald Trump, who is the only president that has never been actually elected to a public office before being elected to the presidency. So I thought that was kind of interesting, right? So we all know that the Democratic nominee is Joe Biden, all right? He's a former senator from Delaware, vice president under Obama. He's going to be running against the Republican incumbent, Donald Trump. Well, a couple days ago, billionaire Dallas Mavs owner Mark Cuban said he might be toying around with running for president. I found that kind of interesting. He's a smart dude, good businessman. He's a billionaire. If you've ever seen the show Shark Tank, he's on that. It's a pretty good show. And come on, President Trump had his own TV show, The Apprentice, and then The Celebrity Apprentice. But as of today, what I saw is that Cuban was actually put on President Trump's new advisory force for reopening the economy. So who knows? I just want to let you know that I'm not backing Cuban, I'm not backing Biden, and I'm not backing Trump. All right? I'm backing Bill Belichick for president. All right? Belichick. Brady 2020? I mean, let's face it, folks. That is a winning combination. It's been winning for years in the dynasty in New England. Why not as president and vice president? I mean, come on, let's face it. Belichick, he finds ways to get things done. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy. Nobody's going to go up against that dude. And then Tom Brady, I mean, come on, 6-time Super Bowl champ. And he's not going to the Bucs, all right? He's going to be vice president under Belichick, all right? They're going to get votes just because of Brady's cleft chin. Let's be realistic, guys. He's pretty, all right? I'm telling you, you have heard it here first. We are the cutting edge of news right here at ALC 19 News. Belichick Brady 2020. Woo! Stay classy, Red Rock Ridge.